What we want do to please you? Yeah, we get people around, oh. They acting that they let you when you show off. I saw you turn your body and it choked off. You buy your Lego, hey, attend them. People buy you Lego, hey, attend them. If you can post your man, hey, attend them. Baby, you post your man, hey, attend them. If you want ever go ever your family, don't bring that nonsense to somebody. If you want ever go ever your family, don't bring that nonsense to somebody. So I said, check, police. It's a long story, just like Perry. Oh, check, police. It's a long story, just like Perry. Yeah, yo, yeah, yeah, yo, yeah, yeah, yo, yeah, yeah, yo, yeah. You let me, you not let me, I will not die. You can't say, you not can say, I will not die. They spit for me, I'm walking on my fire. They try to throw me down, but I bounce back. I survive, I survive. They try to play that weed, but still I survive. I survive, I survive. I wouldn't have bounce on me, one for my enemy. They try to perfect my life. I tell them realize that God picking you won't try. Playing with fire, they perfect my life. I tell them realize that God picking you won't try. Playing with fire. What's the Liberian? What's the Liberian? Then I owe me, oh, then I owe me, oh, then I owe me, oh, yeah, yo, yeah, yeah, yo, yeah, yeah, yo, yeah, yeah, yo, yeah, yo, yeah, yeah, yo, yeah, yeah, yo,
You are watching the review of Liberian newspapers headlines that made news during the week on the Bottom Line Liberia. Please join us every Tuesday and Friday at 7 p.m. Liberian time, 8 p.m. UK time, 9 Central European time.
Welcome to the Bottom Line Liberia. Today is your host, Lord Cholope, and my co-host, Jamal Kamara, who is in Manchester. Jamal, welcome to the Bottom Line. How are you doing?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Paul. Thanks for having me. Good day to be here. Happy to be here. Quite excited because of the game. I'm gonna look. The Euro 24 is taking place, and I kind of share two sides. I'm from live half of my life in the Netherlands, moved to UK. So two teams are playing. I don't know where to go to, but I pay homage to the English team anyway. So I carry the Dutch passport. So you see, the thing is, I win both sides for.
Yeah, that's good. The both sides for me. I don't know. Although Holland was my first adopted country when I came to Western Europe, so also share similar thing, although UK have been my home for the past 34 years. So, and the feeling I got, we have not been playing well in the tournament, but in the last two games, UK came to, the English team came to life. And yesterday game, when I watched it, even the equalizing goal by that fake penalty they gave England, is something that could benefit them in the end, because when luck on your side, you may end up winning the tournament. So because it's just strange that you're not performing well, but you keep creeping. And this happened to Greece a few years back. During the Euro, the Portuguese team was the stronger team in the tournament, and they met Greece in the final. Just 1-0. That was the end. So things can happen. And England, this is the first time for England to reach final in a foreign nation.
So that definitely means that England going to get this. I don't care about hook or about crook. One thing when England goes to semi-final, this common song is being sung around here. It's a common saying. It's coming home. Probably you hear the word "it's coming home." People don't know what to call "it's coming home." Football was developed. I mean, originated from UK for England. So people thinking the English, I think, saying that the football is coming back to the original home, that is England. So it was first developed here, and the guy went out part of the world, all part of the world, and got developed properly developed. Other people start picking up and developed different, put in different contexts than now. So English was saying that well, they're bringing football back home. So the final between Spain and England on Sunday going to be a really nail biting game. And the English want to bring this cup home at all cost, by hook or crook. So they are saying football is coming home. So we all are saying football is coming home. So Sunday is going to be look, Paul, when I work, we have a 3,000 staff. And what happened, we've got a giant size screen. So when the English team is playing, everything stops, stands still. We watch football for the whole hours. Everybody should watch football. So the company will allow you to watch football, even stop everything. The only place that won't watch football, I think, will be the hospital, because if you're in a theater doing operation, you may not want to watch the football. But football is a religion in this country. So definitely, England will be totally standstill on the Sunday. If you I think if you drop a needle anywhere in England, you hear the sound. Because this place, football is a place, it's a religion in this country. And we're going to see how it's going to be. They want to make sure at all costs that they bring this home, and they have the opportunity to do it. This is the best chance you can do. But don't forget, the Spanish are very, very good. A very nice young team. I mean, the guys are brilliant style. They had the chance of beating England solid. But let's see what's going to happen.
Well, something amazing with the tournament. All of these teams that are doing well is the black players now into the European countries that are actually showing their talent. If you look at the French team that just went out all of the tournament, 11 players on the French team are all Africans, especially West African and Central. Now look at the English team, the players that have been safe in England, they're all blacks. Then look at the Spanish team that you just talked about. They have 2 black players on that team.
It's not very common. 2 countries in Europe that you don't find common. I don't think one thing I've not seen a lot here is not a lot. Just lately now, I've seen black players playing in the Spanish national team. It's not very common in Spain. And also in Italy, Paul. The only person I saw playing Italian game was this. It's not very, very common that you see black people, black skin, or black people playing. I don't want to say African, but people born in European countries playing on their national team. 2 countries that are not very common seeing the black players on their page or on their side would be Spain is one of them. I was just surprised to see 2 on their team this year, and also Italy is one of them. Since Balotelli left, I don't think I've seen. If you know one, I've not seen anyone so far in the Italian on the Italian side.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's funny because I remember, I think it was 1992 or 94 World Cup. Even Poland, they had a black player.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, those are the few countries you find out there. And also Germany used to be one of the countries that you need to care, but now the story changed when you have these there were names like the guys that were playing for one of these, forgot the name, he used to be playing on the national team, and also they were Ghanaian nationals. So we got Ghanaian heritage. They were playing on the German national side, where you also see the petty children playing on the German side. I mean, that was another thing you also see. No, sorry, not German. Sorry, there was another guy playing not petty children, but they were all play for Ghana. They play for the French side. Sorry about that. The thing is about Paul is Germany was one of the countries you won't find black players, but years back they changed the story. You see black players on the team. But now you find in England, Holland, Belgium, France, those are the countries that got dominant black players on the national team. But it's not very common among the Italian. It's not common with the Italian teams, national team to specific, as well as the Spanish team. Spanish national team, you hardly see black on the national team. So and Poland is not very common because you don't find many Polish black. Probably in the generation to come, they will be dominated by black born. Your children, my children, other children that growing up, you can't deny them. They have the right to do games, to play. They're qualified. Yeah, by the way, tonight we're going to be
Yeah.
looking at
Anyway,
major newspaper.
now,
Paul, what's on the menu tonight, Paul? Paul?
well, what on the mind is to have a review of the newspaper and then also talk about the yellow machine. The president came out to clear the air that he wrote the legislature on one of those yellow machines that have been patrolling around Monrovia. We're going to look at that, and then we'll look at other stories. The Sahel nation, those three countries that broke away from ECOWAS, and they had their own summit of last week. It's very fascinating to hear. It's a 38-minute clip. We'll play it from this young man that I admire so much from Burkina Faso. He spoke at that conference. We'll look at that. Yes, and before we get into the discussion, I want you to play that music, the letter that was sent to the president by a young musician, reminding him. So before we get into the story, can you just play that music while we share the show?
Yeah, okay, thank you very much. I will let you know that you're joining us. We're doing a review of the national newspaper, the daily newspaper in Liberia. We do that every time. Major stories that are breaking news Liberia. We'll do the review on that. So we'll take the break. We'll take a break and come back. This is the first. This is our jingle for the newspaper review.
You're watching the review of Liberian newspapers headlines that made news during the week on the Bottom Line Liberia. Please join us every Tuesday and Friday at 7 p.m. Liberian time, 8 p.m. UK time, 9 Central European time.
Hello? Yeah, hello? Yeah, I go by the name JB, man. A peaceful and patriotic citizen, man. And I got this letter, and I just want to deliver it to the President of the Republic of Liberia. Hello, Uncle Joe. How you doing, Papi? How the job and your health? I hope you good, Papi. Few things on my mind I want address, Papi. But I hope they my letter reach your desk, Papi. It's JB, Papi. Your knee sick, Papi. Tantan be one of your son, now a friend, Papi. Few things on my mind I want address, Papi. But I hope they my letter reach your desk, Papi. Letter to Uncle Joe. Yeah. Letter to Uncle Joe. Papi. Letter to Uncle Joe. Your princess listen you. But I hope they my letter reach your desk, Papi. Before I go further, let me say congratulations to your government. Congratulations. And I'm by, I can see some small development. Yeah. 5 from above the city ordinance. Back minute on point with a head man. At least we getting there. Take it for the war and economic crime. I like that other decision you took. It been a long time. I'm a policeman in 9 clinking uniform. CCTV camera on the pole. Everything coming on. Papi, I like the step that you take. As a realist, I speak the truth, no faking. Before I criticize, let me emphasize on the Google thing you doing. No need to politicize. But wait, Papi, can I ask, Papi? That doesn't rule your great ring. How much you spend, Papi? They more than 100 days in office. Don't forget, Papi. I just trying to put you on track on what you say, Papi. Hello, Uncle Joe. How you doing, Papi? How the job and your health? I hope you good, Papi. Few things on my mind I want address, Papi. But I hope they my letter reach your desk, Papi. It's JB, Papi. Your knee sick, Papi. Tantan be one of your son, now a friend, Papi. Few things on my mind I want address, Papi. But I hope they my letter reach your desk, Papi. What happened to the breast press? Liberian people who need stable food, Papi. They order news in Anguo, Papi. They order news, it too soon. I've been hearing news, they order news, it more than breaking news, Papi. LEC and the current business. Fire 7 in the fire business. Water and sword in the water business. But all in all, you can play with our rest business. Papi, Yana Borden said they certify. You took them from the street, nowhere to put it, made it city high. The market pack, market women say really high. To buy and sell, no special price, even in Wallace. The drugs spinning on the increase. No more cool, they say the new one are zombie. Even the Zogo say it quit okay. But the Mayu sent to DEA, the men and swallow. Hello, Uncle Joe. How you doing, Papi? How the job and your health? I hope you good, Papi. Few things on my mind I want address, Papi. But I hope they my letter reach your desk, Papi. It's JB, Papi. Your knee sick, Papi. Tantan be one of your son, now a friend, Papi. Few things on my mind I want address, Papi. But I hope they my letter reach your desk, Papi. Letter to Uncle Joe. Letter to Uncle Joe. Letter to Uncle Joe. Your princess listen you. Few things on my mind I want address, Papi. Letter to Uncle Joe. Letter to Uncle Joe. Letter to Uncle Joe. Your princess still listening you. But I hope they my letter reach your decks, papi. Yeah.
Yes, Paul.
Welcome. Yeah, go on, Jamal.
Yeah, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. If you just joined us, we coming to you live again from the center of Europe. This is the bottom Liberia. We are looking at tonight the major news that make headline in Liberia. Tonight we'll be looking at the Daily Observer, the Daily Observer, the Independent, and the New Republic as well, and the other major stories that are trending in Liberia tonight. Paul, here we go. What we got tonight from Liberia from the newspaper. First, which news are we looking at?
Well, Uncle Joe, the yellow machine. What's happening in Liberia? What's something about the yellow machine that been causing problem in the town? People are happy and people now realize that something 419 about this machine. So there is reaction all over the country regarding the yellow machine. So we're going to do, there was a letter sent today by the president to the legislature to clarify how this machine goes. So we'll start with that story. Jamal, you want to put it up?
Yes, a letter. Okay. Is that the one in the news in the front page? This one?
Yeah, this one here. So this was the letter that was sent today to the legislature, to the Speaker of the House. So Front Page Africa wrote saying, Capitol Hill, Monrovia, President Barker said no deal has been reached, but government to purchase yellow machines has been speculated. In the communication to the legislature by Front Page Africa, the president said the initiative originated from a conversation between him and his long-term friend who have interest in his arrest agenda. So this is the situation that we face with now, Jamal. I thought the Liberian Constitution said if somebody gave you $250, you have to talk about it. And if not, then mean you are being bribed. So the lot of F moving machine came to the country. We also, I would call, in the old days, the children used to say jumbo, though, vehicle that move things. So today now, those equipment that were brought, they are part of the military barrack in Sheffield. So what kind of negotiation is this that the country don't know about, but then machine being parade all over the city to find out that I say no deal, but then who is the friend? No name of this friend. I don't know if you read the story. Talk to me. You muted.
What we understand here tonight from this story is been going around circulating for a couple of let's say a week or two right now. When the news broke of the 285 yellow machine coming, people thought it was a fake news. But now the machine came to the country, it's been paraded from different Johnsonville, all around the city to make sure they were around, not including other trucks as well. These tipper trucks were also involved in the trucks, and these the equipment that arrived in Liberia. But the story now is the whole noise about it. The legislature is saying that the president has violated. I mean, there was what we understand there was some money, paper being passed for them to approve a loan in order to acquire this machine, but the House refused to sign these papers. So they're saying because government has procured these documents, it's a breach of the procurement importation law in the country, which should be done properly. So this is where the argument is. In order to twist the story around, the president is saying that this came from his friend, a good friend who have interest in arrest agenda. the arrest agenda he got it. This is a model he rode on. He ran on to become a president. So he thinks somebody gave it as a gift. Well, Paul, for me, it's a gift. It's a gift to him. It's a gift to the country. But it's not a personal gift. When it's a gift to the country, that's not impeachable. But what is impeachable here, Paul, according to one of the writers, the star writer of the Daily Observer, which I'll put up, is this the President Riggs being impeached. This is his story. It's a President Riggs impeachment for the fact that he has violated the procurement importation law, which should be done properly. When it's not done properly, then it's a breach of law. If the law has been violated, therefore the person has to be put if the legislation want to the law has to be procedure in place. Question is the other law in place to impeach the president. There's a in the constitution according to who was that? One of the senators, former senators from it's like Grafton County. Commonly we say it's even Grafton here. Commonly we say mentioned us that there was no law in Liberia that says that allowed that for the procedure of the impeachment procedure. It's not in place. There's nothing like that. So there's a long process here for with a written the bracket written impeachment. In fact, then what for breach of importations and the female law in the country. So this is where the president stands. He can receive gift. If he receives the gift and give it to the country, that's a different thing. But if you receive the gift and keep a person over $250 above that, then that becomes an issue. But the problem with the yellow machine right now, the crux of the matter, Paul, is the machines, the equipment are in the country right now. Now, the argument is, can we pay for this and let everything go? But people are also saying they are not farming machines, they are tractors and other things. They are not road making. They are not yellow machines. There are no caterpillar cats that you are allowed to build the roads that makes the tractors mix of other equipment that they brought in. So there's a lot of news around with the machine. I don't know how it's going to end, but it doesn't look good for the president right now.
Yeah. So Jamal, if you look at it, if I gave you gift, isn't that gift will go at your premises instead of you taking it to you the president and took it to the military barrel for keeping. So and then when the machine came in the town, all the ministers under the government, they were all around patrol around Monrovia. So what sort of gift that they will be celebrating so much?
Yeah, but let's look at it a different way. Let's be realistic here. Let's look at it. The gift can come to the president, can turn to the country. That's a different thing. The problem with the president is facing now, the president should be in trouble right now, Paul, is the way they acquire these equipment, the earth-moving equipment. That's the issue right now on hand. The issue is not the gift. If he had received a gift and the gift is in his personal possession, then that becomes an issue over $250 above, I think.
So Jamal, hold on. In the communication that he sent, this long-term friend and him, right? The friend is interested in the arrest agenda. The arrest agenda is not the United Party policy that they want to run with.
Yeah, I don't want you to look at it that from that perspective.
No, so I'm just saying, because if the people can say this is impeachable offense, then it means some gift have been given to you because they say if you receive $250, it should be reported. Now, it was given to him. It been people patrol with the thing for weeks, noise in the town before he wrote the legislature to say that, oh, it's negotiation. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm not looking at whether the other side. He received the gift. He received more than $250.
Yeah, this is how it is. What is way? Are you hearing me well? I think my voice.
I'm hearing you.
What is weighing on the president? Why we call it the trouble for the president is this, Paul. It's not the gift he received. It's not about that. The argument here is what is weighing heavy on him now that could cause him trouble, that cause him a headache right now of the president, is like he has violated the procurement and importation law. That's the problem he has right now. That's heavy. That's much more impeachable than the gift he received. If you received a gift over the amount you just mentioned, over $200-something, and that gift my voice it's okay, Paul. You hear me okay?
I hearing you. I can hear you.
Okay, if that gift was not given to he gave him the gift, he turned to the country. That could erase the tension. That's another issue. But what is really the case against the person right now, Paul, is the why would you acquire earth moving equipment without the due process of law?
Exactly.
There where the issue is right now. So what is happening? It raised a red flag because there was a paper circulating with the legislature to sign to give some money out. So and they raised the issue. No, we're not going to sign it. How do we get this equipment into the country? So another thing, Paul, you should look at what the president is now really enjoying right now. We have a heavy seated opposition in the House. So the president is not going to enjoy anything through. To put things through the House right now is going to be a difficult thing for him. Unlike George, where we had those in the House were dominated by the ruling party. Now we have independent that allow voice in the House. We have opposition party also biggest in the House. So that's going to give some headache to the president of getting through. If this were being under the leadership of George Weah, there would have been different story altogether, Paul. Definitely, what would have happened, you will not heard this story. They were covered in the way that it was something the government bought and they are being done secretly. You know about it. Because we have opposition in the House, we got independent in the House, and they want to stand out saying, look, we want to be clean here. We want to be transparent. We want to tell the government that we are not into these, we call it Liberia DDD or DDD or whatever we call it in Liberia. We are not into it. We will tell Liberian people we are here for you. Therefore, we are not going to sign this paper. These things happened in the past government. You didn't see it. There was no noise about it. Now, because people like Amara Kone, Musa Bleti, and the rest of the people that are there, they are independent. They want to tell the people that we are clean hands. We have clean hands. So this is why giving the president a headache. This has been happening in Liberia for years. You don't know about it. Now you check. Look what happened to the buses that came into the country. Because of the noise behind the buses were sent back. No buses were sent back to Ghana. It could have been easily brought to the country and given to NTA without any, like the National Transport, or what you call it, National Transport Authority, would have taken it and used it without any cost. But the news started breaking from Ghana, and the social media, including Liberian themselves, started taking news off. So it became an issue. The president raised an eyebrow for the president, and he said, oh, send it back, we don't want it anymore. So this is why we're talking about a healthy democracy where people speak about issues, then the president listens. But unlike the past leadership, I still need to look at the government. They're listening to the people, and the good thing that we have the opposition in the House, and that's also helped us to get these things out there so we can talk about it, and the government also listen for.
So, Jamal, this government, to be fair, they came on the mantra of transparency and accountability. They were the people with this experience, and they were going to prosecute other people. So just barely 7 months, and you're doing something like this without any transparency, then this is a serious red flag that is raised on this government, because this is what they campaign on. They were going to,
yes, I agree.
They were not business as usual. This was straight up government. So if things that they've been doing in the past, and remember too, you said something just now about social media, and George Weah was the one that social media have serious problem with until he know what happened. He became one-term president. And just as Numa Barker now, you expect what happened to George Weah will increase more, because all Liberians around the world now are engaged in what have been happening in recent time, and going forward there will be more. So you cannot, he said it will not be business as usual. Now he has somersaulted on something like this, which is just bad for the country. It gave the government bad image. So what the transparency? For everybody wants something good for Liberia. If you negotiating that you bring in F-moving machine that will do roles, be transparent about it. I think the whole country will welcome it. But if you're going behind closed doors doing shady deals, then it becomes a problem. And this is how I see it. And all of these things, and Daily Observer newspaper is right. If you didn't go through the procurement law, then it's impeachable offense, which is in the Constitution. So I kind of agree with you on this. So what the transparency that they ran on?
Yeah, Paul, exactly. This is the point. And the good thing I'm just saying, I want to repeat here is like Liberia need to understand that what we voted those in power, I hope these in the House will follow these laws. They keep going on to the next 6 years. They are helping us to let them know, like coming on and saying, look, we will not sign these things. And you know what? Those guys in the House are raising these loud voices. There are people that they can afford for themselves. They don't want to depend on the handout, like right envelope. Most of those guys, like Musa Beyete, self-proclaimed, he's a millionaire. Amar Kwana should be. Others are in there.
The Yaka Kolubas.
No, Yaka Kolubas is not a millionaire. This guy will be a millionaire. What's guy named? The deputy speaker is also well seated. I mean, pretty seated in Liberia financially. He had own business. Among others in our country that were doing businesses came to the country. You can't just give the envelope easily to get into the country to get things passed on the carpet. It doesn't work like that for them. So if you're getting, it's also give on the reason like if you're getting somebody to an elected position, Paul, there should be people that can afford for themselves. You cannot have to depend on government. Most of those guys that got into job, they don't have their own house. They don't have a daily food, so they will have to give them something. If you have passed something like 50,000 on the table, on the bribe envelope, and give it to somebody to pass your laws, and my first job is to become a representative or a minister to sign a document. It's just an easy walk in the park for them. But now, so because these guys are in the House right now, I hope they'll keep doing these, making these noises for us, so we will know the right noises, that will know that these things should not be passed without the people consent. The people will not sign it.
So, Jeremiah, you're right, because what happened, the lower house had a debate on this issue today. And one of the speakers said that those moving machines that came into the country, they went through the port with, how they call it, duty free. So they called it on the LRA bus to justify why something that was given. If it's the government is coming to, I mean, it will go through that, but if just a gift to a friend, there will be duty on it. So how come there was no money paid for those machines coming in? So now the LRA boss is also in hot water with the legislature that they're going to summon him as well. So these are things that, yeah. So you're right. I mean, they know.
Paul, another thing, I'll let you know. Probably we don't know here. We don't know the details, but then we are all speculating here, Paul. But one thing also should be clear to us. What the government is pushing through these days is the PPP. Probably heard that.
Yeah.
PPP model. That is the private partnership.
Public partnership.
No, private partnership. Private-public partnership. So what they may have told this company, bring those equipment to the country. And once you start bringing the country, you start work. From there, we'll see if you're serious. We'll work with you. But bring them first. We don't have the money to give you. If you're doing that, you need to go through the right process. You should speak to those in authorities. Like
yeah, but you can't go through the right process.
Come here. You should go speak to not only to the issue. That's why I'm saying they made a mistake. Before you ask the company to bring this earth moving equipment to the country, there are people that should be speaking to. You should be aware, in the know, that okay, these things are coming. This is an agreement we had, or the MOU you have with these companies. You can't just bring them. So the House should be informed. Other authorities concerned should be aware of the agreement made by this company to come to the country. Then the process goes. You cannot bring their machines into the country and ask them to pay or sign a document for them to accept. This is why the legislatures, the House is saying it's just a breach of the law. We're not going to take it. It's a violation of the law, which is the procurement and importation law. So they were not informed, and they are doing the right thing. Paul, I will bring you back to George, where we had cash of arms came to the country. And that cash of arms was just in the news. We expected the House to raise an issue, a House on the security and stuff. There was nothing such. So we keep saying that if someone follows some of our program here, we keep saying that things were happening to the country, who need to come and speak for us was the House. If the House keep doing these things, it's very, very good for our democracy. It's very, very good. It's a healthy thing for our democracy. Things should not be done in anybody can do anything you want to do. They should follow the due process of law, Paul. And this is going to help us a lot.
Okay, let's proceed.
And this is the story, Paul.
Yeah. Go on.
say, Baka and we are not speaking. We got this from the independent newspaper. They say the president, too, the former president, the president is, and the current president, they are not speaking. What would have happened for you? Tell me. But this is the story. I'll give you the background of the story. It was Honorable Melvin Snow went to do his report at ECOWAS in Abuja. So he talked about Liberia is doing well, security, things are improving. He gave all the report. This news came from the ECOWAS meeting. So the Liberian representative at the ECOWAS meeting is Honorable Melvin Snow. So Mr. Snow Honorable Snow was giving his report. After his report, they found out that now, so he gave a very, very brilliant report about Liberia. Things are improving, doing well, we're getting there. But remember, Liberia owed ECOWAS $18 million in levies. That means taxes, things that we should be paying. We should have collected money at these entrances and give it to them. Or tax collector, you do that and give it levy to collect levy. We collect, but we're owing ECOWAS $18 million. So Honorable Snow said that Liberia's working around it to pay back those money. I don't know how we're going to do that because first, I ain't going to raise that money, but probably a quick way to get inside out of that place. But I don't know how we're going to pay that. They just ask the ECOWAS to give them, I think 3 to 4 years. You can pay, they can clear this debt. So that's another thing. But what came about, it was a concern of these parliamentarians, the West African parliamentarians, that they have noticed that there's a tension between the former President George Weah and President Baka. Say they're not speaking. So there was a concern. So the parliamentarians asked West African leaders to get involved, and so the two leaders could be speaking, so it could be healthy for Liberia. So that's what the story came from. Baka and Weah not speaking. Probably after the election, there was a tension built up. But I think they should be. I don't know why they are not speaking, but they have a very good relationship because after the election result, President George Weah called them, Mr. Honorable Baka, to congratulate him. So relationships should start from there. I don't know what's going on, but it could be a different thing. But in any case, the story says they are not speaking. They are not speaking. It's a question mark. But you think what could have been the reason the two Liberian top executives will not be speaking?
Jamal, this where leadership comes to play, to be honest. I remember 2017 election, 2018 when we are won, the very first person he visited was his neighbor. He visited Baka. So if Baka won the election and he's the current president, and he's not speaking to the former president, what does that say? This past election, the country was divided heavily, and the percentage of which Baka won is just little. So that means there's division. If he cannot speak to the former president, that means the country is still divided. And these are the two people that should, at this time, unify everyone together. So what does that tell you about the leadership style? We are, on the other hand, is another person that keep things about people. Baka keep things about people. So there's no surprise here between the two men. Because I remember after 2017, Amara Kone said something that this old man have a behavior of keeping count on people. He has 17 count on Ellen Johnson said leave. The details are there. So it's no surprise here, maybe when we are president, that he exposed that the old man, he supported him with a pacemaker. Maybe the old man still carrying that malice, or we are that why he's not speaking to him. So it could be so many things. I mean, we already, Henry Costa then collected money to pay back we are. So it could be this papi carrying that baggage with him. But instead of care, he's the president, he's the father of the nation. He should be the one to speak to we are and his children. So this is a bad news, man. It's not, I don't see it, it's just bad. Yeah,
okay, consider the stories through. I think the old man should be able to call his son and they should be able to settle this thing in-house and move on because we need them. They are our leaders. And this is not healthy for us. You should be able to call him and have a coffee with him and talk to him. If any issue, you should be able to settle this out. We don't want to see this happen in the newspaper. I mean, this concern was raised by the West African parliamentarian during the ECOWAS meeting. So we expect them to settle this. If they're not scored, they should settle it and move on because we need them. we need to move. When they make up, when they want to support us, we should. If you have different opinion in terms of political ideology and stuff like that, you can have differences, but not speaking is way beyond the bound. So you should be able to come together. If this is too poor, you should be able to settle this thing and move on.
Yeah.
And yeah, Paul, there's another thing. CDC is calling for the sanction. This is a story from CDC. This is what they are saying. Right? You want to see this?
Yeah. Oh. Session then. So, again, for the background, so who are these three people that the CDC is calling?
It's the guy on the side is the CDC. I'm sorry. What is happening like this? Not CDC. Sorry. What they are saying here is like, not CDC. Sorry. They are calling for the sanction of Mamaka, Bisbee, and others. But for what is happening right now with the bus issue, with yellow machine, is a violation of the law. So they believe to be people behind it. So they are calling for the sanction. So this is the story here. So do you think, does this warrant sanction?
Well, the thing is, I think the Transparency International last month gave a damaging report on the boycott 100+ days into government. So all of these things, and with the yellow machine adding, with the boss something adding, these are all things that warrant sanction, to be honest. Because for the 100+ days, we were told in the Transparency International that he bribed the legislature to pass some legislation in the House. And that again, so if CDC now, who were there by yesterday, is calling on them for sanctions, it just tells you something, just writing of this government. So the starting part of their stewardship, I don't think it's good for the country at all, because from day one, from the inauguration day up to now, the things in the news of this government, I don't think it's a good thing. It's just sign of failure to me, what is happening. Then for CDC now to have the urge to call upon the most experienced people to be sanctioned, what does that tell you?
Yeah, because their concern is like you say, if the government should give the source of the yellow machine acquired brought into the country. And this is CDC concern. CDC is like, because they've been in opposition, they're calling for this. What they're saying is put up by the New Republic says, weighing on the latest. Are you there?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, it says, Paul, it says, Paul, you hear me? Are you there?
I hear you loud and clear.
Okay, sorry, I think I kind of missed you. So he said, I'm just going to read the story what the New Republic Liberian Newspapers said. I'll read a portion of the story. It says, weighing in on the latest action of the government, which has been resisting calls, the CDC has pushed on the debate on the highest peak, calling on the United States of America to sanction forerunners in the yellow machine debacle. Madam Mamaka Bellitis, Sylvester Grisby, Deputy Minister of State without portfolio. Now, those are two people. So if you see the other person with the beret, the red beret is the CDC man calling for the sanction, one American government to sanction these guys. But Paul, this is the story of this of the yellow machine. What do you really think we should call for sanction, man? I mean, I don't know. Does it warrant this?
But
we have the full story yet. Well, but these the yellow machine. Now, the president is telling us it was somebody who got interested into arrest agenda. Right? Arrest agenda is give these movie equipment, and the different story coming out from the house saying that who signed a document, they have to ask them to give any money out. But now, so once you don't have the facts here, why will you call for sanction on these people? Is it really weigh on? Can you weigh on this, Paul?
So, Jamal, CDC have a point here. They have a point because the letter that we just looked at in a previous newspaper, that those machines came into the country and were told that, oh, Boyka and his friend in negotiation. But you already brought things, patrol everywhere, people are jubilating that, oh, this president, blah, blah, blah. Then later on, the found out said, no, we negotiate. How can you be negotiating something? You finalize the negotiation, but the things are already in the country. So CDC is now asking questions.
Yeah, but Paul, some of you looking at it, CDC is a laughable one. CDC made these crime committed and so on, these alleged something, and when they were in government for the 6 years, many things of these things happened. That because they were the majority in the House, you couldn't have seen anything happening. You spoke highly of let's say coming. You spoke highly of the president, the buildings he had. 14. What's the name he used to say? He always used to
49 condominium.
He had that. Apart from all those, for the 6 years, most of those CDCians became millionaires. And we know what happened all those years. So will you still say that look at what happened with the first 6 years, the leadership, there was no change of ministry. No ministers were changed. Like even failure, they were kept there all to the time. The proper minister, no proper minister will leave of his job, except you want to resign on your own. That's the first and foremost. Second, things were coming. Like, let's look at what's happening with the rice issue. You know that what happened to the rice issue in the country. A lot of things happen in our country that you don't know about. Now, because CDC is in opposition right now, you're hearing this only for sanctions. Is this that they just don't want to get in the picture, or they just want to? I don't know whether it really warrant sanction here, calling for sanction.
So Jamal, this thing is simple. We were promised that the government was going to be audited, the 3 branches of government. That is include the CDC that we just talked about. If you don't have the balls to audit the previous government, they have all right to come after you. And we said nothing with George Weah that you refuse to audit the early government. So just how these people refuse to audit, CDC have all right to call upon them. I mean, look at it. Why CDC was just in power 6 months ago? Because you refuse to do the right thing, so CDC have the urge to say, "Land them up." You remember, it was the very opposition that put pressure on the Weah government. That he had a lot of them being sanctioned. So what? CDC have the right to call, unless until they do the right thing to audit the previous government, then CDC will keep quiet.
Right.
That's how I see it. So what was wrong yesterday? It was not good. Then today doing the same thing. And the guy who not in government will question you and tell you, say, look, you're violating the Constitution, so you need to be sanctioned or then impeached. And CDC right to say it. Until you can close CDC more to say, I will audit the entire government, which they refuse to do because we know what's happening. If you're going to audit the entire government, the guys that are behind the so-called arrest mission, their hands also in the cookie jar. So they're not moving, and CDC knows this. So the right to call upon that people need to be sanctioned.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got you, Paul. I got you. I understand where you're coming from. I know your position you're still making here right now. But the thing about it is, like, people will say that since they were in opposition, they should have made those up. They should come up and raise the issues about the failures, the shortcoming of the Weah government. They didn't do it. Now it's time for the CDC, because they're the largest or the biggest opposition right now in Liberia, so they can raise some concern and make people to get attention and make sure that these government. But Paul, I think the next 6 years, man. I think the old man in the government going to have a tough time, because the opposition is really sitting over their shoulder, and every little move will be looked into, every little move will be questions, every little move will be properly scrutinized, and that is the thing, that there's no mistake in the leader. There should be no mistake at all. The yellow machine was another issue. It's another issue right now, giving the old man a headache and the leadership, and the boss issue was another thing. There was a lot of noise about it, and now the boss will be retrieved or sent back to Ghana. So this is something that you're not going to have an easy ride to the end to 2029. It's not, this leadership not going to have an easy ride with those in power.
Look, Jamal, let me say something here. You know, when you take on a community organization, and they have little $100 in their saving, and you decided to take $1 from that $100, unknown to the people. When the members find out that $100, that noise that will start behind you, it will not end until you leave office. United Party from day one, they've been making mistakes, and they have not recovered from any of the mistakes they have made. So it's just building up. Remember the inaugural funds that it didn't go well. They should have been some sort of investigation, and they needed to inform the public what went wrong. Then you remember another incident that the 17th district in Monserrato County, funds were given to them for all of those district coordinators. That money, something when they meant to investigate, no investigation yet. You remember also when the military wives got on the block traffic all over the place, they were protesting because of the hardship they were facing. There were investigations, nothing happened. Cape Mount County, the issue that will happen with the B Mountain situation, 3 persons died, is still under investigation, no head, no tail. Then the bus incident, then yellow machine. So all of these incidences that are laid out, they cannot recover. So they have a very, very hard 6 years to go. Let's say 5.5. I would say 5.5 years to go. They will have a very difficult time to go, because every time you do something, people will always remind you. Every time you do something, people will always remind you of what you didn't do. Remember, salary having been paid other places. Then you get Eugene for going other in the government and slapping people. So things will always be adding up. This few days, they forced the finance minister to resign.
But that has to do with health issue, Paul. He was not.
No, the story came out.
No, no, Paul. That's not,
strong page. So
that's not a true story, Paul. The story of that man has been that.
The story now, he were forced to use the health issue. I'm telling you.
No, he Paul. That I can get us straight. We all have information for Liberia. Honestly speaking, Waka Kamara has not been feeling well. That's the fact. But listen, because he's not been feeling well, he's not been performing, and that's affecting his performance as the minister. And this is why they asked him to step down, to resign. Definitely, there's some people at the ministry confirmed that they may have some issues that have to be psychological issues, whatever. I don't know the condition you're going through right now. But you were asked by the government to resign, not because he failed, because he could not, whatever the health issue was affecting, it was affecting his performance.
When the government asks you to resign, in reality, they tell you be sacked. You sack.
Yeah, because of you are resign. No.
Yeah, so
it comes. No, it's not.
Did he do it on his own merit? But they asked him.
No, it's not like that, Paul. Paul, let's see. Don't see it this way. Paul, he asked you to resign because if you're not coming, you're not performing. Like you should. Let's see. Let me tell you something, Paul. What? That's why we speak here. We need to give it to the present leadership. You did not see that under George Weah ask any when there was this dismal failure of some minister. They were never asked to resign. Paul. Well, all we are saying here,
we know. My girl was asked to resign when the censure came on him, so you cannot say that.
No. This is different. The government we are saying, let's call a spade a spade. When the government saw the failure, the poor performance of the minister, or he's not attending his duties as a minister, then they asked him to relieve himself of his job. That's brilliant, Paul. Let's give them our credit. Well, unlike when you saw the past government 6 years, when there was a loud crowd for George Weah to sack some key ministers, they were not performing. And no, he didn't listen. And this guy, the government
you validating the point I made when a government asks you to resign, in reality, you are being sacked.
So what we do? The point you're saying, the unity government is not doing well, but politically, they are better off right now compared to George Weah, comparatively.
No. You wouldn't say that because George Weah says.
When level of people,
George Weah 6 months in office. Compared to Unity Party 6 months, George Weah 5 he scored more.
Yeah, but okay, let's get it straight. Minister
compare the 6 months of George Weah and compare the 6 months of Joseph Burka.
No. First 6 months, there were a lot of ministers that were novice, didn't know anything to do. They were messing up big time. And when people like you saw when his mayor of Monrovia were having gun, banishing gun, moving around to attack. When the daughter of Euro were involved when she was attacked at our place, all this stuff happening. What happened to this with that story? Did you ask God to resign when you committed all the acts? No. Listen, I'll come here again with the issue of the what is called this drug enforcement agency issue happened. Ask them to release them of their post. So show me one that happened unaware. Tell me one. I mean, we all say, let's be honest here and be very realistic. Show me one unaware. It didn't happen. So what we are saying here.
So Jamal, wait a minute. Let me hold you there.
Go on.
You look at the 6 months of George Weah, and look at 6 months of these people. Let me be fair here. Under the 6 months of George Weah, did you have issue within the DEA? No.
How will you know?
So we're talking. We don't make a comparison of 6 months now because saying you saying George Weah told
they were involved in the George Weah multi-million-dollar drug case came out of court with nothing. You telling me all this?
No, it was not the 6 months. I'm talking about this.
People allegedly said they were involved.
You cannot. The comparison here is George Weah 6 months in government to work out 6 months. Then let's make a comparison. In 6 months, all of the issues that worker have, Weah did not have that in the 6 months. The issue that we have when those condominiums came about, who was these people? It was a very united party that instigated all of this noise. There was a big protest. You remember the June 7th thing that came out? That was the issue that we have. But all of these things that are laid out in 6 months of this government. If you compare George Weah 6 months, they owe what we call capital big F. And that's the fact.
Okay, so, I got you. But what I was saying, what you always say on this show that if a Christmas will be good, you'll know it from the eve.
Exactly.
So what we're saying here, there are a lot of things happening right now that these guys are taking up. I think I mentioned that because this government has the very biggest opposition against them in the house. So what they are dealing with right now, everything that comes, things will happen that we will know quickly because the oppositions are telling us what's happening. Unlike George Weah, a lot of things were happening behind closed doors. We will not know because they were in charge. They were the biggest in the house. They were running things like a mafia. You don't know what was going on. Now, we are informed, we and myself sitting here now, know what is going on in the house. We know, I'm not saying the old man is performing well, but comparatively, if you look at 6 months, what you know myself know in the 6 months of Joe Barker, we did not know in the first 6 months of George Weah. No, we did not know. We were not informed.
I can give you some instances. Maybe you may not get it. All of George Weah 6 months, there was no issue until.
But there was how many of?
Let me lay it out. You remember when George Weah broke a house on the 9th Street? There was noise and he rehab. Similar thing, Omer Barker. There's similar thing with a house in the rehab. So this is just photocopy of each other here. So if you do the comparison with all of these things, we know that in George Weah 6 months, he talked about he was going to build this thing in Bali Island. He started doing dual community. He built the first road. He did a few things that people were looking at until when he decided to go into the national cover of the Central Reserve, when he took all that money, when they let, how they call it, those ambassadors, 8 ambassadors wrote the government to put the money back. That's where we started hearing things. It was not, we were getting this information. It was not hearing what they were doing. But so if you come in on a mantra of transparency and accountability and you are the best, then you cannot be making mistakes. That's the point I'm making.
No, we are not saying you should be making mistakes. Accepting that making mistakes is not acceptable. That's not my point here. My point here, if you do think comparatively, you should also look at issue like, let's go back to the issue of I want to go back to the issue of Baka Kamara. Mr. Baka Kamara, who left, who asked to resign.
He was sacked.
We asked to resign because, he asked to resign because he was not willing, he was not performing well. He was not performing. If you're not performing, they ask you to leave the job. They can't sack you. It's an honorable way of telling you to go. We all understand that. It's honorably telling you to go instead of sacking you. Because he was not performing. He was not performing because we know people, according to some inside source, Mr. Barker was not feeling well. People don't want to change the story. I don't care how you turn the story upside down. This man has not been feeling well. He's been off and on. And that's the real story we know. So he's been absent from work. He's been home, and he's the proper minister, should be making some key decisions. And these decisions are not being made. So it affects the operation of the ministry. So he forced the person is asking him to step down. And that's fair enough. That's a brilliant work, Paul. You just step down. But that's good. So we shouldn't take that as something like whatever the story is coming up, whatever the story, the newspaper, whatever the newspaper is coming up, what the newspaper is coming for, whatever the newspaper is saying about him, or anybody get their own side of the story to it, it's up to them. That's why I make it a very free for democracy, where we can say anything we want to say, but you should be careful whatever you say, be liable to it. The fact of the matter is the old man is not being feeling well. Mr. Bakar Kamara has not been feeling well. He has had some health issues, and that has been his failure to show up at the work and affect the performance of the ministry. So that's a different story. Now,
and he was, yeah.
They're asking to, he's honorably sacked, trying to, we're going to get rid of you. So we're getting rid of you. Happy everywhere. So we are getting rid of you. You need to go. How will you go? Resign. We're happy. He did it with the emeritus wife. You saw when you say that he sacked the defense minister, who was appointed as a defense minister, asking him to resign. So it was honorably sacked.
No, for him, he did he go for confirmation? Yeah, after the confirmation.
No, but you're asking, why should they ask you to resign then if you didn't go confirmation? He was appointed. He was a nominee already, so you can ask you to withdraw your nomination.
Yeah,
and then we'll withdraw your nomination. Then you can accept it as as this is why you go and accept your publicly accept that we're going to withdraw your nomination. So will you call that sack as well?
It was sacked, and then the next day they sent him where to security, how they call it,
and
the National Security Agency.
We got less minute to go. I know you have some video to roll.
No, they were sacked, and that's a classic word. Say, look, just step down before I embarrass you. Sack. So, and government that have over 40 years experience, they just doing things that no. But anyway, other issue before we go about the Sahel nation, those three countries that have been following. There's something about Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. You remember when I think it was the last coup in Niger where ECOWAS asked the military government to reinstall the president. And if they refused, they were going to take, military action against them. Because of that, what happened, those three nations decided to say, enough is enough. So they decided to walk away from ECOWAS. And they had a meeting last week in Niger. But very interesting, the way the young man spoke. And I just want, it's just an 8-minute clip. After that, we'll have for local aid, and then we'll move on. So let me see if I can share this. It's an interesting read. Let me see if I can share this with let's see, hold on, let me go to the story. Wow, that's the summit they met in Niger. Let me go into this. Give me a second. Let me go into this and let's listen to what's this? Hope I get this right. So, come on, this video is frozen. Hold on.
Heads of state, good morning. It was a great pleasure and an honor to be here today. A blessed date, a memorable date, July 6, 2024, here in Niamey. First of all, let us give thanks to God who made this day possible. We thank him for everything he has done for us until today. and everything he will do for the people of the AES. Please allow me also to pay tribute to the Nigerian people. These people who have suffered so much since the advent of the CNSP, and who continue to remain standing. Thank you to the Nigerians who gave us a warm welcome In our veins runs the blood of these valiant warriors who fought and who reserved these lands that we call Mali. It's the blood of these valiant warriors who helped the whole world get rid of Nazism and many other scourges. In our veins runs the blood of these valiant warriors who were deported from Africa to Europe, America, Asia, or whatever, and who helped build these states during slavery. In our veins flows the blood of worthy men, of robust men, of capable men. And for this, let us be proud and thank you for being a national of the AES. Africa, this continent which has suffered so much and which continues to suffer because of the imperialists. These imperialists have only one cliché in mind: Africa is the empire of slaves. This is how they see Africa. For them, Africans belong to them. Our land belongs to them. Our basements belong to them. They have never been able to change software until today. It's deplorable. But how does he do it? It is unfortunately since the 1960s that these 6,000 acres of independence were given to Africa. They just placed local valleys at the head, according to them, of their sub-prefecture to be able to continue to supply them. These local valleys that we are going to describe today as living room slaves have no other guide
Oh, we have issue of sound.
Can you hear me? Jamal? Yeah. Anyway.
I hear you, but there was at some point the video sound went off.
Right, so it might be the internet job. Anyway, it was this how maintain this guy had worked on the airports. The reason why I decided to play this, airport had a meeting recently in Abuja, and President Joseph Nima Barker was given a mandate by airports to reach out to the three nations to see how he can negotiate and bring them back to airports. So this is the task that you are given. So we're hoping that he do something, because we know that he's the most wise person in Liberia, that he, he been in government for over 50 plus years. So ECOWAS now have given him a mandate to see how he can bring those three countries back. But those guys in their meeting, they did not tell him. I think they have turned their back completely to ECOWAS. So this is an uphill task for the president of Liberia to bring those three countries back to ECOWAS, because they decided to even form their own currency. They kicking all the Westerners out, and now they're bringing the Russians in. So I don't know how our president, although he been in government for 50 years, he's now going to use his negotiation skills to bring those people back. So I just want to play that, because that was the assignment given to him by ECOWAS. So Jamal, anything else before we close?
Yeah, no, it's a task, and we wish him well. It's not an easy thing, because they're young guys. They have different ideology. You can't change their minds. A brilliant guy come in with a different political ideology, and to get there, convince them to go back to the ECOWAS that they have not benefited from for years. It will be a it's a hell of a task for him. But we wish him well anyway. And I hope he can use his skills as a mature person and get them to join 16 countries outside ECOWAS.
Yeah. Okay. So overall, I think it was good. And we're here tomorrow again with a full house. And we'll still follow the issue that are training in Liberia. The most talk about yellow machine. The House had a debate. We found out the resolution from that House debate. What steps they're going to take? What are they going to call the president to question him? Or CDC is calling for sanction. The newspaper also talk about impeachment if you don't follow the process. So we want to find out what the lower house have to say. And tomorrow we'll be looking at those stories. And I think we'll have a good show. It will be here tomorrow, the full house. But before we go, Jamal, any update of, because I've learned that you play a very important role in the planning of the July 26th that FLA is holding, or you're not? So
no, I'm not. I think I'm not. I know Liberia is going to be part of the program in Germany. So right. We will invite the team, which is headed by Stephen Khalid, together with Augustus Gard. Will be coming up here to tell us more about in detail. Very soon we'll be inviting them here to tell us what they have, the package they have for those who will be attending the program in Germany.
Okay.
Until then, we'll take a musical break, and we'll wish you a lovely evening. And until then, we'll catch you tomorrow. This is one of the people that all we're going to do once in a while playing, like what is a tribute to Liberian people. The artists, they are doing very good. So once in a while, we're playing that song to let you know that we have some great artists also from our country. So to bid you farewell, we want to leave you with a guy called
Boy.
If we're pregnant, speak up.
Only records, Now you bad liquor on a table. You want you to don't can show yourself. Got plenty dancing, now you dancing. You get copy, I say don't can show yourself. You using Chani, Mr. Chani, I say to never bad, don't can show yourself. Say you young boy, your sling on a papa bob. I say don't control yourself. You don't get money, you want eat shawarma, eat some pizza, don't control yourself. I using sense on you, using sense on your own Chani, don't control yourself. Your Nina Kebe, you go or you say your Nina Sarah, don't control yourself. Got too much bluffing, are you bluffing? You get nothing, I say don't control yourself.
We want to say a big thank you very much for joining us tonight. We'll be seeing you tomorrow here, right place on this same platform. We want you to join us tomorrow at the same time, 8 o'clock. That will be 8 o'clock UK time, 9 o'clock Central UK time, 7 o'clock Liberia time. If you join us from Java TV, wherever you join us from, we say thank you for joining us. always be part of us. And if you have any comments, we would like to hear from you. And this is the Bottom Liberia based in Europe. My name is Jamal Kamara with my brother, the Lord himself, Paul Chilople. I know Paul is going to be happy on the Sunday. Now, Paul, tell me what you think we're going to be on Sunday match. UK is going, England specifically is going to go against Spain for the final on Sunday, the Europe 2024. Paul, what's your prediction?
My prediction, it will be 2-1 to England. England will win. Yeah.
All right, then let's wish well for England now. That's why I live my life, have all my life in the Netherlands, which is Holland, and I'm actually living here in UK, so I pay homage to UK right now. So we wish UK well, England well, and we say sorry, we can't mix UK and England. So UK is a different one, England is a different. So we're talking about England and UK. So this time football is coming home. Let's say, Paul.
Well, I would say it was a good show, and looking forward to tomorrow's discussion. And on Sunday, I'll be celebrating after our victory against Spain. So, and I'm looking forward to the weekend.
So we say a big thank you to whoever joined us, wherever you joined us from. So don't forget to join us. We're on the YouTube as well as on the radio. We're also on our website. Always check us on our website, and as well as on the Facebook as well. My name is Jamal Kamara again, Paul, the Lord Chilople based in London. I'm calling you from right here in Manchester. We'll see you tomorrow at the same time on this platform. And thank you for joining us. Have a lovely evening. Thank you. And have a blessed day. Bye-bye.